Tremblay. My business is called Loomination. I founded it in 2013 and I make hand-woven home decor and accessories. I weave everything from scratch, starting with yarns, and I make the final products.
Leanne, thank you so much for sitting down with us and kind of taking the time out of your busy schedule to have this interview with us. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, where do you grow up?
So I grew up in Methuen, Mass, which I live in Lowell right now, so it's not too far away. And then I went to undergrad for textile design. But when I finished, I didn't really know what I was going to do with that degree. I could have become a textile designer and worked in industry, but a lot of that's designing on the computer. And I really liked working with my hands more. So I also was really interested in art history, and I decided to go into curation. So I did a master's program, and I worked in arts and nonprofit administration for about 8 or 9 years before starting my own textile design business.
Now, do you have an inspiration growing up in terms of going into the field that you're in right now?
Well, my family has always been really hands-on and DIY. When I was a little kid, my father and my grandfather built an entire beach house out of reclaimed materials, and we still have it in our family. And my parents have always been doing everything themselves. My mom sewed when I was growing up. My grandmother was a painter. So we always kind of were making something or doing some kind of a project and doing it ourselves. So it kind of gave me the inspiration to understand the processes behind things. A lot of people think, oh, no one can make that, but in reality, everything is made by somebody somehow. So it's just kind of given me that background of just understanding how things are made and how much time goes into them, and how rewarding it can be when you have an awesome final product. Here is a whole rack of table runners that I have. I make them in 10 different colors and in 4 different lengths. So these here are the 45-inch long, and then I have some 60 inches, and I have some 96 inches. I also do 72-inch, but I don't have any here right now. So what I do for these is I use in order to make all these different colors here, I use a lot of different strands of yarn. So for this one here, I've used all of these yarns and then this one. So it's really what makes it so nice and thick here. So these are pretty much done. They just have that one step left. But basically after I weave it, I have to do all this fringing here too. And that takes quite a while, believe it or not, almost as long as it takes to weave the whole scarf. I have them in a few different designs. This is kind of the more simple design. I have that in 7 or 8 different colors. And then I do these here, which this one's called the Cityscape because I think it looks kind of like buildings a little bit. And then I have this one that I call the Shadows. It looks kind of like shadows, the way that they cast down. So they're kind of a more graphic pattern, and I do those in black and white. So those are pretty fun to make too, because they're all a little bit different.